So, folks, it's been a couple weeks now. Lindsey Graham is still dead. However, I have finally read some of the comments on the post about his death and how I thought it was very funny. And many of you said you would like to see me react to Donald Trump's full remarks because they're very funny, unintentionally so. And so I figured we'd dive into that. And before we get there, I did want to point this out. This is very funny to me. Trump 80 has been musing about his own mortality in the wake of Lindsey Graham's death. He expressed disbelief at Lindsey Graham's death, often speaking about his energy levels. I said, "You guys, I just can't believe it." Trump reiterated that Graham was a workaholic. It just didn't stop. "What even makes it even stranger is I got a call last night, sometime in the early evening, and he called. He said, 'We're all set for Save America Act.' He said it a little tired, but perfect. But a little bit tired." It's in interviews, the president has repeatedly highlighted how hardworking and energetic Graham was, emphasizing how unexpected the senator's death was. "I don't feel great. He was a great guy. He was a friend. He would call me all the time. I'd say, 'Stop calling me, Lyndsey. It's just, he was amazing,'" he told Fox and Friends. Like, this guy, I love the idea of Donald Trump spiraling into just existential dread because of Lindsey Graham. Because you all know, and we've known this for years, Donald Trump has a very unconventional view of what causes people to die, because he believes the human body has a finite amount of energy. Yes, it's very sad. Very sad. He believes the human body has a finite amount of energy, and that once you use it up, then you die. It's why he says he doesn't work out. He talked about this when he was running for president the first time. It's genuinely very stupid. Where batteries, yeah, he thinks that the human body is a battery, so if you use your energy by working out, you are going to die sooner, which is very stupid. Now, let's jump into his remarks here. But that's why he keeps going like, "Oh, he had so much energy. It's so sad. He had so much energy. It is human battery." All right, let's do this.
Thank you very much. Vice President Vance, members of the Cabinet, members of the House and Senate, distinguished guests, Darlene, and the entire Graham family. We love you all. Today we gather in the deepest gratitude and profoundest sorrow to honor a beloved friend.
Oh, by the way, in case any of you are like, "Jack, you're making that up," here's an article from 2019. It's time to revisit Donald Trump's battery theory of life force.
Did I mention how much he loved me in my amazing new ballroom, coming soon?
Oh yeah, the last thing that Lyndsey ever wanted was for me to have a ballroom. The last thing he told me he wanted. Yeah, in a terrific piece on Trump's physical health, CNN Jeremy Diamond and Kevin Liptak gave us a hint of it, bolding his mind. Nearly a dozen White House officials and sources close to Trump said they don't believe he set foot in the fitness room in the White House residence, maintaining his view that exercise would be a waste of the energy he's always touted as one of his best attributes. For the uninitiated, Trump ascribes what has been described as the battery theory of life force. Evan Osnos, in a profile of Trump in The New Yorker a few years back, described it thusly, quote, "Other than golf, he considers exercise misguided, arguing that a person, like a battery, is born with a finite amount of energy." It's why when he calls someone low, it's why he calls people low energy, you know? When he calls people low energy, he's literally talking about like their human battery level. They don't got enough life force in them.
Devoted brother, a respected statesman, a giant of the United States Senate, and a true American original who left us much too soon. And that can only be the one and only Lindsey Graham. By the strength of his steadfast convictions, the force of his magnetic personality, and the goodness of his noble soul, Lyndsey rose from a small town in rural South Carolina, a place he loved so much, to become a constant fixture of American politics at the highest.
Oh God, there are two more excellent quotes in this. I can't not share them with you. After college, after Trump mostly gave up his personal athletic interests, he came to view time spent playing sports as time wasted. Trump believed the human body was like a battery with a finite amount of energy, which exercise only depleted, so he didn't work out. When he learned that John O'Donnell, one of his top casino executives, was training for an Ironman triathlon, he admonished him, "You're going to die young because of this." A 2015 New York Times Magazine profile. Trump said he was not following any special diet or exercise regimen for the campaign. Quote, "All my friends who work out all the time, they're going for knee replacements, hip replacements, they're a disaster," he said. He exerts himself fully by standing in front of an audience for an hour, as he just did. That's exercise. So really, what you're seeing right now is him exercising at Lindsey Graham's funeral.
Level, and a force to be reckoned with all over the world. For more than 30 years, nothing of consequence happened in this capital without Lindsey Graham knowing about it. Nothing of significance happened anywhere in the world without Lindsey Graham having a view on it. And no bill became law in the most exceptional republic in human history without Lindsey Graham having a say in it. He was a man.
Such a great Googleizer.
Indeed. One might even say,
Google debunkers.
A man who gave America the full measure of his good and mighty heart until that heart itself just gave out. But even
why would you say that? Why did you say that at his funeral, dog? He had a great heart until suddenly it wasn't.
even though Lindsey's life was cut short while he was still so full of vim and vigor, there can be no doubt that he lived absolutely to the fullest. He died doing the work he was born to do.
Getting us into a terrible military quagmire from which there's no escape, and which will be our next, the young generation's Vietnam. I'm sure everyone will love him for that.
He was truly a great politician, serving the country he loved to serve so deeply. He went out at the peak of his career, at the top of his game, as a legend that every one of us, many of us here today, are blessed to know him, and a friend that none of us will ever forget. There was truly nobody like Lindsey Graham. It was his hometown of Central South Carolina that Lyndsey first learned.
Man, he really is struggling to read through this.
Zoolander.
I did pick it. I did pick up the reference. But thank you for the $5 super chat, Anime Sidekick Gal. I'm actually enjoying this quite a bit more than I thought I would. Like he's like pausing South Carolina. He's struggling so hard.
The art of politics. His parents ran a bar and pool hall on Main Street with a room in the back where the family spent and had to do. As Lyndsey said, his father taught him the key to being a successful bar owner is that you have to be funny enough that people will keep coming back, and that you have to be tough enough that you can stay in business and thrive. A very difficult combination. For his entire storied career, that's exactly who Lindsey Graham was. He was the first person to make you laugh, and one of the last people that you've really ever wanted to fight.
What? Who would ever want to fight him? I don't
Maybe
know.
McConnell is draining Donald's energy as well as Lindsey's.
Who would ever want to fight him? I can't figure that out. Spoiler alert, in this very eulogy, he mentions doxing Lindsey Graham on the campaign trail because he was picking a fight with him. Like, oh god. Sake Tanuki, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. Out of politics, which is like that of the deal, which I wrote, but not quite as good. Oh, Lyndsey, always coming in second place. Unlike me, coming in first. I was always better at standing than Lyndsey was.
These were the traits that made him into one of the great figures in Senate history. Few like him. As a boy, Lyndsey also learned his first lessons in diplomacy when the wife of one regular patron called the bar asking for her husband. She demanded to know, where is he? The man instructed Lyndsey, tell her I'm not here. And young Lyndsey nodded and said into the phone to the wife, he said to tell you that he's not here. That was Lyndsey. When Lyndsey was just 20 years.
I mean, that just sounds... I'm sorry, that doesn't sound like a joke. That sounds like Lindsey Graham didn't understand what the fuck was happening.
Old, he lost his mom to cancer. 15 months later, he lost his dad. Their deaths left his 13-year-old
That was Lyndsey, a childlike idiot.
Sister, Darlene, an orphan. But in God's mercy, she had her wonderful brother to take care of her. On top of it all, Lyndsey became her guardian while still in college and helped raise her. He later said that for all his achievements, and he had many, his single proudest accomplishment in life was how well Darlene turned out. He had total respect and love for Darlene. Nothing could be more.
Lindsey Graham was always being asked by men he was with to tell women they weren't there.
You know, Lindsey Graham got really good at talking to other people's wives. He was a real man's man, you know? Sake Tanuki, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. God.
More fitting than...
I do have to say, I do think that if Trump... there is a non-zero possibility here that Trump just didn't know that Lindsey Graham was gay. Because I feel like if he did know that, he would just suddenly look up from the paper, go off script, and be like, and we all knew Lyndsey was very gay. He loved men. He loved them like they were his own lovers. But, you know, I would never say that. I would never say that in public. But now, this is a eulogy for his family.
That woman who was Lyndsey's proudest legacy now continues his legacy of service in the U.S. Senate, a place that he cherished. And I have no doubt that he's looking down today, beaming with pride at his sister, Senator Darlene Graham. Thank you, Senator. Lyndsey first stormed into Washington with the Republican Revolution of 1994.
Loved being gay with his pals. Gay isn't happy, guys. Gay isn't happy.
Before becoming the first Republican to win his House district in 120 years. That was Lyndsey. In 2002, he ran for the Senate.
All you libs love to impersonate Trump. First of all, I'm a socialist. But second of all, he is very funny. Like, if he had no political power whatsoever, he'd be very funny. Unfortunately, we live with the consequences of his actions.
In what should have been a loss, and he swept to an easy victory. Lyndsey quickly became a master at maneuvering in one of the world's great legislative bodies. He secured record funding for our military as a budget committee chairman. He delivered the largest investment in border security in history, and last year he shepherded the passage of the largest tax cuts in American history, the great, big, beautiful bill. Had a lot of...
Yeah, that bill that's starving children and kicking millions off of their health insurance and robbing the poor to give to the rich. What a great accomplishment.
Lyndsey goodies in there, too, I can tell you. And, of course, he was...
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
History the great, big, beautiful bill. Had a lot of Lyndsey goodies in there, too, I can tell you.
What? You're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to get up on a stage and be like, yeah, we added a lot of little things just for Lindsey Graham, just to make him happy. Lot of little things. You know, we put some graft in there to make him a little bit wealthier.
Yeah. And of course, he was also a great champion of the United States Supreme Court. His impassioned defense of a wonderful person, a great gentleman, Justice Kavanaugh, ended a disgraceful attack on this very good man and gave us one of the greatest moments the Senate has ever seen. It was a truly monumental moment in Senate history. I believe it was Lyndsey's perhaps finest hour. But no matter how heated things got in Washington, virtually everyone...
Man, I do have to say, now that I've looked at this for quite some time, that shoulder pad is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Dude looks like he's wearing a fucking Saiyan uniform from Dragon Ball.
We added so many Lyndsey goodies in there. He was a cracker, so we added graham crackers.
that Lyndsey was many things. He could be described in many ways. He was just so happy all the time we called him gay. He was just so white we called him a cracker because he loved crackers.
Republican or Democrat liked Lyndsey. Well, not everybody, but it sounds good. Not everybody. He was a tough cookie, okay? I have to...
Well, not everyone liked him. Some people, they hated him. They hated him a lot. Man, what a thing to say at a funeral, dog. It makes it clear, by the way, when he goes off script, he read everybody liked him, and then he's like, wait a minute, not everyone liked him. I didn't like him. And he looks up at the crowd because he's not reading from his paper anymore. He's just riffing. It's truly unreal.
I have to veer from this for a second. He was a tough cookie, darling, but he was beautiful. But he was also ready with a joke and a gleam in his eye. After being lectured on the excruciating details of patent law by a fellow senator during a flight, Lyndsey declared that he had discovered a new form of enhanced interrogation and torture for the Guantanamo Bay area. He said, this is...
I gotta be honest, I can't believe I didn't see a clip of this going around. That's the President of the United States admitting to using torture in Guantanamo Bay. Y'all realize that, right? Like, there has always been, like, a veneer of, like, no, the United States doesn't torture people. We just use enhanced interrogation techniques. Not torture, though. Well, like, this man just goes off script and he's like, haha, Lindsey Graham was like, we found a new way to torture people in Guantanamo. Isn't he a funny, witty man? And it's just like, oh boy, you're too dumb to realize the implications of all this. Woof. Woof.
Really bad stuff and boring. And while he was an incredibly hard worker, he was not exactly an early riser, as many of you know. When Senator Tim Scott, a great gentleman in his own right, I can tell you, invited him to prayer breakfast at 8:30 a.m., Lyndsey told him, Tim, if Jesus himself comes back before 10 a.m., I ain't going. Yet, while he was always quick to laugh, and no one ever doubted the gravity of his mission, above all, Lindsey Graham believed in a strong America. He wanted a strong America. He had unwavering faith in the righteousness of American power and prayer. And he was extremely hawkish. I will tell you, he never saw a war that he didn't like. Only his true friends would.
Jesus Christ. He was a wonderful man, but he loved wars. As we all know, wonderful men frequently love wars. You know, he never saw a war he didn't like. What a great man.
If a Democrat said the things Trump says, it would be apocalyptic. Obama got
Oh,
shit for using
no.
the wrong kind of
Yeah,
mustard.
it would genuinely, like, Republicans would immediately, unilaterally, like, just nuke them from politics. You know?
Prayer breakfast at 10? Lyndsey was on his knees before 8 a.m.
I'm not built to suck your dick.
Sake Tanuki, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. Nathan, thank you for the $5 dono. Yeah, Lyndsey, people are always saying Lyndsey is very devout. He's gonna devout that ass.
Understand that, but he wanted it for the good of our country. He felt in his bones that our destiny is to win, and that his job was to do everything he could to ensure our enemies would lose. It was this conviction that led him to serve 33 years in uniform in the Air Force and Air Force Reserves and Air National Guard, even while he was in office. And it was this conviction that took him as a senator to almost every country on earth, confronting America's adversaries and standing up for America's friends. He had tremendous friendships all over the world.
I just love killing.
It's a testament to his towering impact that among those mourning him here today are leaders, presidents, prime ministers from all over the globe. They're sitting right here before you. Lyndsey met countless world leaders, yet wherever he went, he was always the same Lindsey Graham. When he met Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi in a tent in the desert, he told him, I expected something out of the Arabian Nights. This looks more like a Winnebago. That was not a good statement to make at the time. And when he met the Dalai Lama, Lyndsey looked him straight in the eyes and said, so, can you really levitate? The Dalai Lama was not happy with that. But no matter how high he rose, he never forgot where he came from. There's probably not a single town in South Carolina where Lyndsey did not help repair a bridge, expand a school, improve a hospital, or recover from a disaster. He was a force of nature, and I will miss him greatly. As you remember, Lyndsey and I did not exactly get off to the best of starts. Running against each other, back in 2016, Lyndsey said something rather nasty on his flight to becoming the next president of the United States. So naturally, I did something that I shouldn't have done. I shared his personal cell phone number with the millions of people that happened to be watching that particular day as I made a speech, a very important speech. And I remember the number 202-228-0292 if anybody wants to give it a shot.
He actually redoxed
Yes, he meant Jesus Christ and asked if he could turn water to wine. Oh, that Lyndsey the little rascal.
what the fuck, dog? Why would you do that again? Why would you do it at his funeral? Why? Hey, remember that time I, harassed this man? Remember that time I harassed this man to millions of people who were watching? Wasn't that funny? Call the number again! Is this for real? This is real. This is the actual eulogy Donald Trump gave. This is 100% real.
His phone exploded. He said, I had that number for 20 years. His phone totally, I don't know what he did with it, but it exploded. That was.
Hey, remember that time I was capricious and cruel for isn't that a funny story? Dog.
Beginning of a friendship in a way. But it was Lyndsey who had the last laugh, because while I blew up his phone all for one day, we became great friends, and Lyndsey did not stop calling me for the next 10 years. It was nuts.
I always remember him fondly as that irritating son of a bitch who won't stop calling me. Holy shit, dog. This is the worst eulogy I've ever heard. It's so bad.
I always cherish the memories of our golf games, and only because of his really and I will say this memorial service, it's so hard to say. A memorial service for Lyndsey, it's hard to say. But I'll admit that one time Lindsey Graham and Annika Sorensen actually beat me and Gary Player together. Can you believe that? Annika played very well that day, actually. But
I mean, it is only funny because he's doing this to Lindsey Graham, one of the great monsters of the Republican Party.
right to the end, Lyndsey carried in his golf bag the putter that once belonged to his dad, and he carried it with him with class and with a ring that was so beautiful of his mother. And they were laying right at his bedside the night he died. They were there. He had him with
This
him at
eulogy
all
feels more like a roast, honestly, just shows how Republicans are.
100%, Nathan. 100%.
times. From that pool hall where his parents raised him to the halls of the United States Senate, where he was respected and loved, this son of South Carolina became one of the most important men in the most important country on earth. In a city where politicians often become jaded and cynical, Lindsey Graham never lost the old-fashioned American idealism that brought him to the highest levels of government and life. He took his duty seriously without taking himself too seriously. He was unwavering in his principles, but always willing to listen. He always wanted to listen. And one thing about Lyndsey that we all know, he never quit. You wanted him to quit, you waited for him to quit, but he would never quit. Above
Well, until now. Now he's officially quit.
all, Lindsey Graham loved America and he believed in the American people. If you shared that view, you had a friend in Lyndsey. If you didn't share it, there was no fiercer or more constant opponent. Our nation needs more men and women.
Our nation needs more men and women
Like that great person sitting, laying, wherever he may be. I think I know where he is, and I think he's up there. I think he.
wherever he might be. I think he's up there. Wherever he could be, we'll look around, we'll see wherever he could, he could be up there, maybe. sitting over there in his grave. Guys, they had an open casket with him sitting up. That's the only explanation.
He's watching us. I'm pretty sure of it. Scripture tells us that blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life. For 71 years, Lindsey Graham was strong and steadfast. As a brother, a senator, a warrior, and a patriot, he withstood every last test, every single test that you can go through and every trial. And now he wears the crown of life in heaven, reunited with his parents and reunited with his Lord. I end by saying something very, very special. Lyndsey, we love you. God bless you. We will always be with you, and you were very, very special. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll always be with you, except for right now. Except for right now when, you're dead and we're not. Anyway, bye, sucker. We also just have to take a look. I believe this was immediately after this. Was it here? And that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Oh, God. All right. Anyway, I deliver. I say I'm going to do something. I do it. You guys made it clear you wanted me to cover this and for me to give my full thoughts. And just want to reiterate, Lindsey Graham was a horrific warmonger who was a huge cheerleader for us to get into the Iran war. And he loved it. He wanted us to bomb Iran even more. In fact, I bet his dying wish was for us to nuke Iran. Like, he was a terrible human being. He accomplished mostly horrible pieces of legislation that impoverished the poor and enriched the rich, and is pretty awful. So honestly, I can envision no more fitting tribute than for someone similarly awful to deliver a eulogy to him that absolutely throws him under a bus. And I think that's wonderful. Anyway, if you got anything out of this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. Comments really help in the algorithm. And, of course, get organized. Join your local Dems, join your local DSA. If you need help doing so, you can join our Discord, reach out to GamerG for help with DSA, reach out to Dragonfly for help with your local Dems. And last but not least here, check out ImogeneOlivia.com, gender euphoric lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes, tested with cis men, cis women, non-binary folks, trans men. It is comfortable, sexy, non-tucking lingerie. Go check it out, ImogeneOlivia.com. Link down in the doobly-doo. Let's keep on going.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the scenes. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.